Nicholas Cain was once a name that inspired both respect and awe. He was a brilliant surgeon, known for his steady hands and unmatched skill in the operating room. People from all over the country sought him out for complex surgeries, believing in his promise to save lives. For years, his success rate was flawless. But over time, the weight of saving lives and the strain of constant perfection began to chip away at his sanity. It started slowly. A few surgeries didn't go as planned. Patients who should have survived started dying on his table. At first, the hospital staff thought it was just bad luck, an anomaly. But as more of his patients began to die, whispers spread throughout the halls. Was Dr. Cain losing his touch? Cain's confidence crumbled, but rather than step away, he grew obsessed with his failures. In his twisted mind, he believed it wasn't his fault. It was the hospital, the equipment, the staff, the atmosphere. Something was wrong. His obsession grew into madness, and he became consumed with the idea that he needed to punish the hospital for what he perceived as sabotaging his brilliance. One dark night, after a particularly brutal failure in surgery, Cain snapped. He made a decision that would turn him into a monster. Quietly, methodically, he locked down the hospital, trapping everyone inside. Doctors, nurses, and patients, none were spared. With surgical precision, he began his horrifying rampage. One by one, he killed everyone in the hospital, extracting their hearts, kidneys, and other vital organs. His medical training made the process gruesomely efficient, and the staff barely had time to scream before meeting their horrific fate. The next morning, the hospital was a bloodbath, bodies scattered like broken dolls, their chests and abdomens hollowed out. Cain left a note, written in blood on the operating room wall. "This hospital doesn't deserve me anymore." He sold the organs he harvested on the black market, making a fortune off the lives he had taken. For weeks, he evaded capture, moving from city to city, fueled by his twisted sense of superiority. To him, he was still the greatest surgeon. His skills just needed a better audience, but his reign of terror couldn't last forever. The police, following the trail of illegal organ sales, finally tracked him down to a decrepit warehouse on the outskirts of the city. When they stormed the building, they found Cain standing in the center of an improvised operating theater. The room was filled with stolen organs, carefully preserved in jars. His eyes, once sharp with brilliance, were now wild and crazed. As the police closed in, Cain smiled, holding up a scalpel. "I saved them," he said softly, almost to himself, "but none of you will ever understand." The surgeon of death was finally arrested, but his legacy of horror lived on. Even in prison, Cain believed he was still the greatest surgeon, just waiting for the day when he could return to his operating table.